Lindsay with the worker.
Lindsay with the worker.
How's it going?
Well, it's hot and sweaty
Yeah?
and sticky.
Are we doing okay over here?
We're doing okay.
Okay, what do we got going on?
We got Facebook Live.
Yeah,
we
is
got
anybody...
a few people.
Okay.
Got a few people
Great.
watching.
Great.
Did you share it on your feed?
I did share it on my feed.
You've got a big
Yeah,
feed.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that popular.
Oh. Well, you're right on stage now. You're popular now.
I know. So what are you talking about?
We're talking about. Well, first let's talk about you.
Yes.
Tell us about you.
I am Lindsay. I am the Chief Programs Officer with The Worker.
And that's St. Joseph the Worker.
St. Joseph the Worker, yeah.
Is that their new name now? Is just the Worker? Taking the Saint out?
we didn't necessarily drop the St. Joseph. We'll always be St. Joseph the Worker, but what we did was we put more emphasis on the worker. So you'll hear us talk about the worker a lot. And kind of call it the worker, and then you'll also hear us say St. Joseph the Worker sometimes. So I think what was happening, kind of two things, right? St. Joseph's Hospital, right? We were kind of getting confused with them. Actually, I could tell you, when they were telling me this, I was like, oh, really? And then I was at an event, and I heard a lady go, oh, I donate to your hospital, so I could see where the confusion comes in.
So St. Joe, is that the hospital in Tempe?
It's that one's St. Luke's. I think.
Luke's.
Yeah, St. Joe is over here.
Is downtown.
It's not,
Okay.
Yep, right over here.
Yep.
And then another thing was I don't think the clients really fully understood who we were. I think St. Joseph was at the forefront, and the worker was kind of at the back end, right? So we kind of put the worker at the forefront to really talk about what we do, which is employment services.
Helping people to really get on their feet.
Yeah.
And I know I recently heard something at the Homeless ID Project. I think that around 70% of the people coming to us to get a replacement identification document are doing that to seek employment. Actually, it's funny that you say that. Hopefully we'll be able to pull more numbers for you in about a year or even sooner, but I was over at Homeless ID Project today, and I met with John, and we are working on a kind of like a referral back and forth process, and not just for the sake of referring back and forth because we already do that, but for the sake of capturing data so we can really see those numbers. How many people are we referring to Homeless ID Project, and how many people are showing up, and how many people are you guys referring to us when they walk into your office? Right.
And let's see what we can do with that data.
They're checking the power source on the computer. Oh, we've got 2%?
2%. Oh my goodness.
Oh goodness. So we've got 2% left on the computer. 2%, so hopefully it's a race against time here to keep this going.
Can you tell me about your role?
My role?
Yes.
Well, I'm the interviewer.
You're the interviewer.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm the president of the board of the Homeless ID Project.
You're a good interviewer. My Siri's talking to me. You're a good interviewer. You make me feel very relaxed. Maybe you should do more interviewing.
Okay, good. I'll do that. I can do that. So I can. I ended up on the campus on accident in 2009.
Okay.
And it blew me away.
Yeah.
It was not what I was expecting to have happen to me. Of course, I didn't have any idea what I was walking into when I drove in to deliver some clothes, and there were thousands of people everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find Big Dave to give him the clothes, and he's waiting in a truck for me, and there's thousands of people everywhere. It's the middle of June. And as I'm sitting there in my air-conditioned truck, it was 112 outside, and I happened to look out the window, my passenger window, and there's a mother sitting on the curb, and she has two babies in her lap. One is crying uncontrollably. And that was the moment that my heart changed. Because I had a view of homelessness, and I was certain that I was right, and I was certain that it was a choice, and this whole thing, right? As I know a lot of people that I talk to have something similar to that. But that was the moment I can go back to and say, my heart changed at that moment.
Yeah.
And so for me, what I did is I wrote a check that day.
Yeah.
It was a check I didn't plan on writing, and it was a check that scared me to death. It was somewhat irresponsible.
Okay.
and because I was that moved.
With good intention.
And yeah, I had a couple of kids and a wife at home, a family to raise, a young family. Economic times were very uncertain.
Sure, at that time, yeah.
But I was so moved that I said, I have to do this.
Sure.
And I did. And as I handed Big Dave that check, I knew this would not be the last check I would ever write.
Sure.
And so, that's a little bit about my story, how I ended up here. And so I've been the president of the board of Homeless ID Project since 2018. It's been amazing to be a part of the community and to see it grow.
Great.
And so that's me.
So this is my first time coming out here with you guys. Is this something that you guys do every year?
This is our first time.
This is the first time?
Yeah, so
okay.
if we get a response, if we get a good response, if people share this, if we have if we can make some noise and start to raise the awareness level, then it's something that we would do.
Yeah. Where did this idea come out of?
It came out of a board meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you want me to get more specific on that?
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, that's okay.
ChatGPT.
Okay. Yeah. It was just like.
So we were saying, hey, what do we do here?
Yeah.
I mean, times right now in the nonprofit world are a little tight.
Yeah.
So we hear about Doge.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff happening at the federal government. We all hear that there's something happening. There's things, okay, and everybody's got opinions about all this stuff happening. But part of what happens is, we don't take any governmental funding. You don't take any governmental funding. But, the organizations that do rely on federal funding, a lot of that's being cut.
It is.
A lot of that's being cut, and so those organizations are now having to go after fundraising that we've had to go after. They're having to go after grants that smaller organizations like us would have to go after, and so it's having an impact coming all the way down.
Sure, and the foundations that are stretched thin.
And these are the weakest people in our society that we're talking about.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, I think about, so I started my journey in nonprofit as a social work intern.
Mm-hmm.
And that was over at St. Vincent de Paul. So I worked at that time with senior and disabled, right? And I can tell you that it's probably even more than half, but half of my caseload as I worked as a case manager was referred to Homeless ID Project, right? You can't get into, so for them, right, for our seniors, right, they're on Social Security benefits, right? They're not going to get into market rate rent. They need subsidized housing. To get into subsidized housing, you don't even just need your ID and your Social Security card, you also need a birth certificate, right? So we needed all those IDs, right, to just get them in the door, to get them, and in some cases, to get them on the wait list, right?
Yeah.
So that is, so you guys have been a friend of mine for a very long time. And then, of course, then I moved into the workforce sector, and as everybody knows, you need documents to work, right? You need our I-9 documents. So I don't, and every nonprofit that I've touched or talked to in some way, like, you guys are the stepping stone for all of us, right? Like, Homeless ID Project is a stepping stone for all of us to be able to get our clients to the services, to the end game, right?